I want to get reaction to that part from Bob Woodson, president and founder of the Woodson Center. Bob, we just discussed with Senator Lee the attacks on our fundamental institutions. The Democrats claim they care about democracy and process, but in the end, they obviously want to tear most of this stuff down. How worrying is it that more Americans seem to believe less in our founding, the promise of liberty, and Independence Day itself?
Well, it's devastating, I know, for more vulnerable populations, particularly in the black community. Progressives are pushing this anti-American agenda and using America's birth defect of slavery as a bludgeon against the country. One person even saying that she's going to celebrate Juneteenth, but not 1776. Well, she doesn't understand that if it was not for 1776, there would be no Juneteenth. That black Americans have sacrificed, have demonstrated their commitment to these values and ideals of ours by the shedding of their blood. Blacks fought in every war that this country has ever had. Every war we fought, and not a single black was ever convicted of treason. We have the Harlem Hellfighters. My dad was a member of that group. The Tuskegee Airmen, and all these. So America, people of color are risking their lives to come here and enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy. And so we should celebrate, and we will celebrate.
Well, and a Princeton professor had an interesting take on Independence Day, Bob. Watch.
What are your thoughts going into this 4th of July weekend on pride and being an American?
You know, 4th of July has always been an incredibly vexed holiday for me, given the tradition out of which I come. It's framed by Juneteenth, the way in which we struggle with the legacies of slavery.
He definitely just doesn't want to teach his students about the wonders of liberty as understood by generations and generations.
No, and also I just think they make this false claim that some of the challenges of disadvantage in these cities around the country, these disparities, are the cause by racism and a history of slavery and discrimination. In fact, Laura, the first 50 years after slavery, blacks actually in these cities fared much better under segregation than they have over the past 50 years of progressive policies. Children, we have 5 high schools in urban centers at the turn of the century with 50% of the budgets of white schools, used textbooks, crumbling buildings, yet every one of those high schools out-tested all white schools in the cities in 1920. Today, in those same school systems, blacks are achieving only 10% are even efficient in schools today when at the turn of the century under segregation.
Bob, happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. It's so great to see you, as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.